Okay, so if you're watching this video, I have a message, and this is for like those that feel the call, they feel the pull, they feel the conviction to make space. Like you feel that it is time to like let go of some things and some people, some environments. Like you just feel it. You just feel that it's time to release. It's time to let go, right? It's time to free yourself of whatever roles you have opted, excuse me, you have opted into, whatever obligations you've opted into. Like, this is for the person that's like, you're ready to receive more of what the divine has for you. You're ready to make space. And so the message is like, you can do that. You can free yourself. Just release yourself from your attachments, is what the divine says. Is like, it's safe to do that. You can safely release. And the things that are for you are for you. The people that are for you are for you. Another beautiful thing about releasing is that, so for example, you say you're connected to somebody and you feel the call, right? You know, like, you know that feeling like where something keeps kind of nudging you to let something go, when something keeps nudging you to do something or to take that step, to start that thing, right? Even with starting something, even with taking the next step to do something, there is a release that has to happen. Maybe you release control, or you release the judgment, or you release the fear of rejection. But say there's that person in your life, and you know it's time to just release and let go. You give yourself first and foremost. You the weight of that situation is now not on you. Like you've released that weight. You literally may physically feel lighter because you've released the weight of that. But then you also, in an energetic sense, like the metaphysics of it, you energetically release the other person from being binded and, tied and contracted to showing up as this particular character in your world, in your reality. You give the universe an opportunity to come in and like move things around. And if it's meant for you and that person to come back together, then it's meant for you and that person to come back together. If it's not, it's not. But you stop, like when you release and you make space for the divine to do what the divine does for us and wants to do for us. When we release and we let go, we literally allow the other person to now take on new characteristics. We allow them to do what they need to do in an energetic space to show up differently, if that is what's next. But releasing also is a beautiful way of surrendering, because you just let it go. You let it go and you let it be, and you realize that, like, there could be better for you. There's always better for you, right? And until you are in the knowing that there's better for you, you get to believe. You get to have faith in it. And you get to practice that faith over and over and over until you know, until it's a knowing. Like, I posted something in our community tab one day. It was like a video or a short of Carl Jung, and he was talking about knowing and believing, and it's like the same concept. It's like once you know, you know, once you know, you no longer are in the state of faith and believing. But in order to get there, there is this beautiful thing and this power in releasing. So I just feel like this message is for someone that is you feel that call. Like I literally have been there so many times in so many different situations where I'm holding on to something that doesn't want to be held on to anymore. And how do you know that it doesn't want to be held on to anymore? Because it doesn't, there's no ease in it. There's no ease in it. There's no fluidity. There's no flow. It's just kind of like robotic. It is super difficult. It's there's suffering. And usually the suffering comes from attachments, you know? Suffering tends to come from attachments, the things that we won't let go because we are afraid that maybe this is the best that we can have, or that we can create something different, or we've become comfortable and complacent. We're being stubborn, we're not respecting the divine and all of its capacity and ability to help us co-create what we want to experience. And in all reality, we are the divine, but because we're in this human experience, there is this really strong illusion of separation that makes us feel like, we speak in ways as if like we're, the divine is outside of us. So like we can co-create with the divine, but in all reality, we are the divine. We are the divine that wanted to experience itself. And that's what we are. That's why I always um I truly believe, I don't know if I say that a whole lot on the channel, but this life is a dream space. This life is a dream space. This is not it. Like, this is not, it's real, but it's not real. It's real because we're in it and we're experiencing it, and it's very, very, physically real for us. But in all reality, the physicality of this existence is not real. This is an illusion. We're not in an actual place, like we're not in an actual place. So sometimes it can be very difficult for us to recognize ourselves as divine beings and trust that we have the ability to always create more and better for ourselves. We always have the ability for that. So I just wanted to share that message because I don't know, I like literally heard like it's time to release and let go. And then I just started receiving all of the information, all of the messages about just releasing, and also being reminded of so many times where I've needed to release. Like, for example, I'll share this with you all. So like the channel, like I love the channel. I love the channel, but I don't really want to sit at the desk and read off the notebook. And I'm not against it, but I want to do something different, right? I kind of want to be more in like this type of a space where I just can talk and vibe. And if I want to edit it, I edit it. If I don't want to edit it, I don't edit it. But it's just me. It's me showing up. I have to release what I think others are going to think. I have to release the fear of, the channel is smaller, and what if somebody doesn't like it, and I lose subscribers. I have to release that, and I have to believe, and I have to know. I have to know, and I'm knowing more and more and more that the more of a flow state that I'm in, the easier it is for me to create and the easier things feel, right? I do know for me, in order for me to be in a flow state, there does need to be some type of structure that makes me feel safe. So when I post these videos, I'm releasing all the time any type of fear of, judgment or rejection, because this is my contribution to the collective. This is what I feel called to do. And if it resonates with other people, then it resonates with other people. But in order to receive all of what's for me, I have to let go of the attachments that I have to the fear of rejection. Like that really unhealthy relationship that I've had in the past with, you know, not only rejection, but also judgment, of being afraid of being judged. And I feel like a lot of people can relate, with that. But just in the video making and the content creating, I am being reminded as well by the divine, like, okay, it's time to release this and it's time to release this. And you used to think this way, but you can't do and have what you say you want moving forward if you steady stay in that mindset. If you steady, you know, you're not going to be able to attract the people that you want into your life and the kind of experiences, excuse me. I'm getting over like some junk, but you won't be able to attract and have the type of things and people and maybe partnership that you want in your life if you keep entertaining things that clearly are not in alignment with you, that are clearly like there's, you know, it's just not there. It's just not there. And releasing the attachment, right? Releasing the fantasy, releasing, you know, the dream, releasing the idea of a thing. Not that fantasizing and having ideas and dreaming up and all that stuff is bad, but there's a balance that has to happen. And sometimes in order to find balance, you have to release. You have to release. You have to be okay with, you know what? I'll let that go. I'll let that go so that I can have what it is that I need and what I want, right? Because it's not always about what you want either. There are needs that are necessary to take into account as well. So I said all that to say that we all are constantly needing to release. We're all and desperate need to be okay with releasing so that we can be open and receptive and sponges to the beauty that the divine wants to pour into our lives and wants us to experience, because we're not outside the divine. The divine wants to have the best experience, through us. But we all too often feel separated and afraid and limited because we fall into the space of illusion, of separation and lack, thinking that we have to hold on to something so tight in order to keep it. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Magnetism is magnetism. It doesn't go looking for anything. Things are pulled into its field. So what do you need to release? What is it time to release something so that you can step into what it is that you want? Step into like who you are. This message is to remind you that you will have everything that you need. You always do. But what are you holding on to that needs to be let go of? That is what I leave you with. I leave you also with peace and love. Take care of yourself.